Yes, people. Welcome back to another edition of the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. I like how I start each and every live show, whether it's on the YouTube or the Twitch. Big up to each and every one of you lot who are supporting the channel. Large up to everyone who is supporting Sarcasm City TV. So whether you're new here, whether you've been watching for a long time, whether it's years, whether it's months, whether, like I said, it was yesterday or even today, it's much appreciated. Please make sure, first and foremost, as soon as you land here, whether you're a regular or you're new, hit the like button on the video, share it across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you do that. It is road to 4K. Road to 4K on Sarcasm City TV. And for those that haven't seen the ManDem United podcast before, it is a podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. And it's been a happier place in recent times. It's been optimistic. We've seen rainbows, we've seen blue skies. And as always, with the ManDem United podcast and with Sarcasm City TV, you know, we only bring the best in special guests. We only bring the best in content creator space. And this guy here is someone who works extremely hard. One. Number two, he's building his own empire on his channel, and I know how difficult that is. He's bringing talent onto his channel. He was one of the first people to reach out to me to bring me as a special guest on his channel, which I'm still gassed about. And also, as well, I love this interesting fact. He is the first ever special guest on the ManDem United podcast ever. So he's the first ever guest we had on this show was him. I got a welcome to the show. Man like Osman Talks United in the building. Yes, Osman.
Yes, Flawless.
What's going on?
I'm
See the optimism.
To be here, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure, my guy.
Yeah, man, it's always good to have you on. Like I said, it's multiple times you've been here. Like I stated, you was the first ever guest on the actual ManDem United podcast as well. So it's always good. So that's why I always reach out to get your thoughts on things. And you see the energy is different, people right there. See how excited Osman is, and that's not just because he's on the show. See how optimistic Manchester United fans are. You know, so like I've never seen happiness like it. It's like we've just all got out of a toxic relationship, and now the glow up is here.
Legit,
the glow up is here,
man. Honestly, God, yeah, it's great. Look, obviously, you know, in terms of where we are in the season, I know rival fans are bantering and saying we're sat in 10th, etc. But it's exactly what you just said there, man. In terms of, you know, where we are with the new management, the new, not ownership, but the new sort of identity to an extent that we're going to expect under Ragnick, it gives us a bit of hope, man. And as a football fan, that's all you can cling on to. Of course, sometimes it leads you down a dark alley, but this time we're hoping for light at the end of the tunnel, man. So, yeah. Fingers crossed, Ragnick's in charge for Crystal Palace. So I feel for Vieira, man. It's going to be peak for him.
Yeah, man. We made it to the end of the tunnel. We made it out the tunnel to the light. Big up everyone in the comments. We will get to all the comments as well. Large up to Nippin, who says big up to Flawless and big up to Osman. Large up Brush, another regular here, says large up the ManDem. Link for the membership is underneath in the description for great perks. And we haven't spoke. I think the last time we spoke is literally before we went on this gauntlet run. You know what I'm saying? Before we went into Hell in a Cell, and we had Leicester, and we had Liverpool, we had City, we had Watford, we had Chelsea. Yeah. Now we're at Arsenal as well. Zeno will be back, people. Don't worry about that. Zeno
don't worry. He's been practicing his vocals and whatnot. Don't worry, people.
Zeno is practicing the vocals to sing Ollies at the wheel. We will get to that. But yeah, last time we spoke, it was looking very bleak. We were both not looking forward to running the gauntlet. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. But now we're speaking, things have changed massively. Ollie's gone, number one. Number two, we got a great result in the Champions League and got through in the group as group winners, so no Europa League. Then got a very good point away at the bridge. So since we'll start at the very top. Ollie leaving, your initial thoughts, and then how did you feel the day after?
I mean, the initial thought was it was a couple of weeks too late. I mean, you know, coming back to the last time I was on the show, myself and yourself, we spoke in detail of how bleak the next couple of games were going to be. And we also felt like if he was to get sacked after that Liverpool humiliation, should we say, we still had a chance. We still had a chance to redeem ourselves in the league, potentially make ground, etc. So my initial feeling really with Ollie sacking was, it's too late, basically. I was happy he's gone. Of course, I was happy he's gone because it was past the point of like embarrassment. It was just getting ridiculous now. The fact that we lost 4-1 to Watford in that manner, I'm surprised he didn't walk after that to have a bit of self-dignity. Do you know what I mean? Like to lose 4-1 like that to Watford and get half your players getting bullied off the ball as well, man.
Yep.
It was an absolute shambles. So yeah, it was a matter of time that Watford game. Lord have mercy on us all, but that was just. But the thing is, right. And I said this to somebody else. I was on the Rival podcast, and I was saying another Watford game. In my head, I genuinely think we won that game. I keep forgetting we lost because we got sacked on the same day.
It felt like a win.
Bro, legit, like every time I reacted to that game, I genuinely think we won. It's so crazy, but look, at the end of the day, you know, he had to go. We know that. But as you've already alluded to, man, now it's time for us to, you know, hopefully kick on in the Champions League because that's the only thing we've got going for us this season.
Yeah, like you said, and we will get into that as well. So obviously, Ollie left. Like you said, it was even though we got beat 4-1, there was just sheer joy because when he first got sacked, like on the day, like I was ecstatic about it, but it was more big relief. I feel like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And the next day is when it really kicked in. Then when I'm creating content and I'm talking about it, I'm like, this guy is really not here because he's been here the entire time I've been creating content. Like that has always been the talking point.
Crazy.
Every time, whether you've been on my channel or I've been on your channel, that has been the main talking point leading into every game, no matter what's going on. That's always been the main talking point. So the fact that he now left and I was like, relief, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Then the usual things that happens with Manchester United, everybody on social media talking, journalists talking, mainstream media like on TV, on Sky and BT and BBC all talking about who the next manager is. Who did you initially want? Who was you looking at for permanent manager?
I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I was very desperate. Oh my god! Like, honest to God, I know it sounds crazy, but we were linked to everyone.
Yes.
Southgate was a complete no straight away off the cards, obviously. But Conte, Poch, and Brendan were the three major links, from what I recall. And at that point, I was like weighing up the pros and cons for each of them. And I was thinking, there's a lot of cons for all three of them, in my personal opinion, anyways. But I just take them at this point because I was so desperate to get a manager in. Because I still felt like we could potentially salvage the season. The Brendan Rodgers one was really triggering me though, because like I was thinking if we get
Rodgers, why would you still against Brendan Rodgers?
Look, he firstly, right, he's an ex-Liverpool. I know a lot of people don't care about that. For me personally, I wouldn't say I massively care about it, but at the same time, it just always on the back of my head, I just feel a certain way to him. I just think he wouldn't really be welcome. I can imagine if things went left very quickly, people would be always an ex-Liverpool manager and it'd become very toxic very quickly. And I just don't think he had the real credentials to come in and potentially steady the ship because people would be on his neck from day one. So I just think that was basically asking for failure, similar to what Spurs did with Nuno. It was never going to work, so to speak. Yeah, so for me, obviously the positive of Brendan was the fact that he plays good football. He knows the league. He would have potentially brought us some of the Leicester players that I'm sure a lot of us would, call out for, the likes of the Tillemans there and Ndidi, potential Pereira at right back, although Ndidi of late has been shambles. But in general, for me, he's nowhere near the stature of Manchester United Football Club. Fair play, he's at a small club like Liverpool and Celtic, but that's not Man United, is it? It's a different ball game, isn't it?
No, I understand that. So you was desperate at that point, basically, and you was like, I'll take anyone bar. You wasn't happy about Southgate. I think I never believed there was any strength. I don't think there was anything confirmed or anything actual. Like there was no evidence of that. I think it was everybody guessing, per usual. Because the thing is, if you go back and check when Ollie was sacked, nobody was talking about Ragnick as into. Very few people were talking about. Like it got mentioned, but no one that I remember, you lot in the comments might know, or Osman, you might know. Nobody I remember of any stature was talking about Ragnick, which lets me know nobody knew what was going on. And who tweeted it? Who tweeted it? It might have been, I think it was Neeks who tweeted it. Yeah, it was Neeks. Shout out to Neeks Sports. And he said something along the lines of, everybody out here is guessing about what Manchester United are going to do next because Manchester United don't know what they're going to do next. And that is a prime example. United, we didn't have a plan. The plan wasn't to sack Ollie after Watford and then go get Ragnick 2 weeks later. That wasn't the plan. I believe we only sacked Ollie because we conceded the third and fourth goals to Watford. If we lose that game 2-1, I think he's still in charge. I legit think they decided, right, the third and the fourth goal went and it was like, all right, enough is enough. And then Ragnick, if Ragnick was planned, they would have had this work permit and everything sorted. Why not do that in the international break? You've had a week to 10 days to sort all of that out. And then they chose not, and they chose to not do it during that period and do it afterwards. And then obviously he missed he isn't in for the Chelsea game. He's not here for this game, even though he's in the country and he can play against Palace. So we'll see. But on to Ragnick. Your thoughts on that? Him, 2 questions. Your thoughts on him coming in as the interim boss for 6 months and then the consultancy role he's taking up.
Yeah, no, just quick. I just want to add to what you just said. They give Ollie a holiday to not sack him and then sack him the day after practically. Like, honest to God, how poorly is this club run? It always will be Glazers out. But to come back to the Ragnick thing, for me, this is the first time Manchester United have actually done something correctly. I know a lot of rival fans and a lot of pundits, as they call themselves, have been claiming that this guy hasn't got the credentials. He hasn't, he hasn't done it at the top clubs, etc. But for me personally, obviously, we know Aaron, both of us know Aaron very well. We know Aaron has a lot of education in German football. For me, I had to educate myself. I didn't want to just be one of those people that bandwagon off what someone says, X, Y, and Z. So I wanted to do research on the guy to find out what he's about in terms of his philosophy, tactics, etc., or what he's going to bring to my United. So for me, having done the research, honestly, he's probably the best appointment we could have got in terms of the football, what we expect, in terms of elevating the game. I mean, his first quote that he said is, it's a very talented squad and I'm here to develop. I mean, that word develop for me is absolutely essential because that's not something that's happened for the last 5 to 6 or however many years. None of our players are really developed. You can't name many players that have genuinely improved under the previous coach. And I think Ragnick, for a very short period, is going to come in, play good attacking football, steady the ship, potentially even get Pogba to sign a contract, whether people want him to stay or not. And he's going to hopefully develop the younger players, the likes of the Greenwoods. I know Rashford's not young by age, but in my personal opinion, he's still young up here in terms of his IQ is nowhere near mature enough for his age. So people are going to be benefiting from a lot. And then obviously the 2-year consultancy speaks for itself. Anyone who knows anything about Ragnick knows that this guy was very influential in the rise of RB Leipzig, from where they were in the lower leagues to where they are now, with some of the players that he brought in, the likes of the Kimmich, Mane, Haaland. I mean, the list is endless of players that he scouted. So for me, it's exciting because Man United are going to finally get those gems in the dirt from the German league that all the rival teams, the players that Bayern Munich always pick up. And you're like, where did they get this guy from? And then all of a sudden, 3 months down the line, you're like, raw, this guy's an unbelievable talent. I mean, our scouting system has almost been like Brexit FC. We don't want to come out of our periphery or our local vicinity. These mans are too scared to go overseas and actually deep dive into, the sort of gems that are available. So for me, I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the power he's going to have as sporting director, because I think we're going to get some talented young players from the German league that will get massively overlooked from Premier League. So listen, it's a positive step in the right direction, and for the first time in a long time as a Man United fan, I can't actually believe I'm saying that. So I'm overjoyed personally.
Yeah, the first time we've known each other and been creating content, we can genuinely look forward to short-term and long-term what is going on at Manchester United Football Club. Like, I feel like we have our club back. That's genuinely how I feel. Like, even the Villarreal game, I was like, I'm looking forward to this. The Chelsea game, I was actually going in there with optimism. Like, right, we can actually get a result here. And I said on all the previews against Chelsea, I was like 1-1. And that's how it turned out. Did we have the best performance in either of those games? No. But one thing we did get in both of those games was very, very good results. That's what it is. Very good results. And I've seen small details, some of the basics that we hadn't seen under Ollie in the longest time, like a shape. Something as basic as that. I seen an average position map against Chelsea the first half, and the shape it made sense. I was like, okay, now we're putting the building blocks back in place. And that's why everyone who was like, oh, it's still the same coaching staff, etc., etc. Ollie's still the head honcho. So he still signs off and everything. Why have we not seen McFred? We've seen them both, but we haven't seen a double pivot. It's been like a 4-1-3-2 or a 4-4-2 diamond, which is all we wanted, was a lineup where I can go, all right, I see what you're trying to do here, a game plan and execution of that game plan. That's all I ask for, is the basics, is a plan. Because I think we can still finish top 4 as well, which we'll get into. But before we get into all of that, Eddie says, come on, boys, it's game day. I even got the kit on. Hit the like, sub, and become a member if you can. Therefore, subscribe to Usman Talks United. Yes, go subscribe to Usman Talks United. And the link is in the title, people. The link is in the title. So you can click, as this video is live right now, you can click the link. This video will keep rolling and go subscribe. Usman Talks United.
Stay here, though.
Yeah?
Keep slapping the
you can stay here because you can still hear us. Hit the like button. Get me. Click on it. Subscribe. Get me, hit the notification bell on Usman Talks United and then close it off because you can still hear us anyway. I like big up Eddie as well for putting Usman's URL channel in the title as well. Big up. Ahmed is confident. He's saying clapping Arsenal cheeks tonight, boys. We're gonna get into that. Hasib says flawless, yo, big up to you. Bra says Wagwan flawless, big up to you. Peter as well says, they're making it up as they go along because they could have had Ragnick getting a work permit during the break.
Facts.
Just common sense. I am no footballing guy in it. Like, I'm not a DOF. I'm not a COO, CEO, manager, UEFA A or B license. But if you need a work permit, do it during the break. That's why I said they'll sack him during the break. But the incompetence of this board never ceases to amaze me. You can never be shocked. He should have never came back from his holiday. Facts, flawless. I'm confident for this game. I'm saying 3-1 United. We will get onto the Arsenal game. But before we get into that, Ragnick, what are your expectations now of him and Manchester United just for this season alone? What are you looking at? We're still obviously the Premier League. You got the FA Cup. You got the Champions League as well.
I mean, top four still has to be a minimum, to be quite frank with you. I do think, obviously, you mentioned the fact that we can still get top four. For me personally, he has to get top four. I just think, of course, today's game is very crucial, which we'll touch on a bit later on. But we're not even that far off, man. Our competition realistically is West Ham, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur potentially. We're better than all them three teams. Look at our squad. Is way better than them. And like we just alluded to, with a real system and a clear identity week in, week out, okay, we might not hit the ground running straight away, but we start to see the fruits of the labor like 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the line. And luckily for us, I checked the next 15 games, our hardest game is West Ham on paper.
Yes, we do have a favourable running from today.
Very obviously, football's not won on paper, of course, we understand that. But what I'm saying is it gives them an opportunity to embed his system. And obviously, when we play the harder teams, by then we'll be well up to speed. So for me, top four is definitely achievable. So therefore, I would definitely put that on the list. FA Cup, I mean, I'm not massively bothered about FA Cup, which is a bit of a cop-out because we need a trophy, of course. But if we win the FA Cup, I'll be happy. But I really want to do well in the Champions League. For me, the Champions League, I know it's a bit of a mad statement, but I don't know why I got a feeling that we can do well in the Champions League. If we get a good draw, of course. We can't play anyone that is of a real competition apart from PSG. That's the only team that we can play in the next round that I would be scared of. Not necessarily scared, but that's the team.
They're definitely the best team out of the runners-up. I get the point you're making.
Yes,
I fancy us against anyone in the next round. Absolutely.
Over two legs, we've got the likes of Ronaldo, we've got Champions League, Varane. We're going to have a proper system in there. Again, people will say, oh, it's a bit deluded, your defense is still poor. I understand that, but you need to remember, with good coaching, you can elevate players' games 10, 20, 30%. A lot of our players are actually well below 100%. They're not even playing at 70% of their capabilities. So I think even if he gets them up to 100%, you'll start to see a massive improvement. So I think the Champions League for me is a massive one. If we can get a favourable draw in the next round, the last 8, anything can happen, man. Literally anything. No one thought Spurs would get to the final. Do you know what I mean? And we got way better team than Spurs. We've got Ronaldo for starters. And it's true though, isn't it? Like people,
you got a point. I've been waiting to be sold on the Champions League. You made a great point about Spurs getting to the final. I've said, do I expect us to win it? No, but carry on.
Yeah, Spurs beat some decent team on the way. Obviously, they beat Man City, Ajax at the time that was flying as well. That kicked out Real Madrid in the same competition. So look, knockout competition, Champions League for me. Go big on that one. Top 4, and I'd be happy. Of course, that's not what we expect at the start of the season. But circumstances have changed. So yeah, FA Cup would definitely be nice as well. But yeah, Champions League, I've just got a bit of hope if we can get a bit of a favourite draw.
Yeah, like it. Okay, I like that. The only thing that surprised me there was you saying about the FA Cup. Obviously, top 4 is the bare minimum because I genuinely believe we can win the FA Cup. Just for the trophy. That's all I'm looking at. Is like, and the Champions League. I just want us to go deep into that competition. That's what it is, because it could be a valuable experience. And you never know. Like you said, last 8, last 4, favorable draw. You never know. And next week you're in a semi-final. Like, it can happen, and we do have the attacking players to win any given game in that competition. Large up to Ride says big up big bro, my guy. Osman large up little bro in the court as well. Big up Kwesi says big up guys. Nippin saying I hope you guys smash those gunners. They're getting too big for their boots. And big up to Fair, who says big up flawless, shout out from California. Big up to you, man, watching all the way from California. Love that. But let's get into it. Obviously, massive game, always a huge game. I say this whether these two teams are challenging for a title, top 4, top 10, They could both be in League One. This game is a huge game, massive rivalry. Now, the not even the so-called, it is the social media derby. This is the game that makes the loudest noise on social media because we have the loudest fans on social media, probably followed by Chelsea. Manchester United versus Arsenal. And a lot is riding on it for both clubs. If Manchester United win, it's a great, but this after the draw against Chelsea, it's a great 2 games, 4 points from those 6 games, and it puts us right back in the top 4 race. However, if Arsenal win, I think it puts them 8, 9 points clear and strengthens their top 4 push because that's what they're looking at. So your thoughts on it? How confident are you going into this game tonight against Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I was confident until I realized Maguire's back, so that is a massive.
Is he starting though?
He's definitely starting. Come on, man. We know these guys. We know they love Maguire. They rate him like he's the best defender in the league, man. Like, look, if Maguire was still suspended, I'd definitely be more confident because it would mean Bayou's playing. And I know people associate Bayu being reckless, but I just think he's always up for these big games. But I think part of the Man City on goal in general, he's tending to do well. Yeah, the carrot thing as well, man. The carrot being manager is definitely something that does concern me. If you had Ragnick, I'd be sat here with Chelsea and we're winning 3-1. But with Carrier, we don't know how he's going to set up. If he sets us up similar to how we did against Chelsea, I think that's a mistake. Personally, if we're too expansive and he sets us up to try and control the game, again, we've seen with our current defence that we've been caught open at will against some of the better teams. However, Arsenal do not have Saka from what I'm aware of. I think Saka is injured as well.
Is Saka injured?
Apparently, Saka's not travelled.
Let us know in the comments. I know there's probably some Arsenal fans in there or somebody else who knows about that in the comments. What Arsenal players are unavailable for tonight?
Yeah, I believe Saka's not trained, so he's not taking part, which means Martinelli will come in. Again, Martinelli is a very talented player, but Saka is a key component of Arsenal's attack in terms of his creativity, his ability to carry the ball, and obviously it's just his overall presence on the pitch is definitely a positive for Manchester United. Yeah, we have got someone confirming in the chat as well. But from a Man United perspective, the way I see it is if we actually control the ball, play Van der Beek in the double pivot, we should piss on Arsenal, honestly. With all due respect to them.
Let's go. All due respect, not all due disrespect. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, go on, carry on. All due disrespect. This is Arsenal. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Carry on.
Their fans are saying, look, why are Man United fans so confident? Because we know what our players are capable of when they play football. When we play football, keep the ball on the floor, move the ball quickly through the thirds, we know what we're capable of. Do we see that week in, week out? Absolutely not, because the manager sets us up so negatively. So I want us to be brave in this game and take the game to Arsenal. We're at home. If we take the game to them, honestly, I think we'll win this comfortably. But if we're reserved and we play a McFred double pivot, then it's anyone's game because obviously we're inviting pressure on, which is something that we shouldn't be doing. I think Donny van de Beek starts this game with Fred in the middle of the park with maybe Bruno in the 10, and we probably win this game comfortably, like 3-0, 3-1. But it depends on the lineup, to be honest.
A lot of it is depending on the lineup. I'm optimistic just off the vibes thing. Like you get Ahmed spoke on this in the comments and he's mentioned it. Normally you get new manager bounce, but Oli being gone has given these players a lift and a bounce. You can already see they're even just running more and the vibes being backed. And Arsenal are not that good. I didn't understand. I still don't understand the hype now. I didn't get the hype then from certain Arsenal fans. Like I was on Deluded, shout out to Deluded Guna. I was on his channel. He's a pretty level-headed. He's a very level-headed Arsenal fan. So that's why I'm not talking about the likes of him. It's Arsenal fans talking on social media about, we can challenge for the title. We can finish top 4. We're nailed on for top 6. I'm like, based off of what? Like I look at their manager, I look at their first 11, I look at their squad, and I'm like, where does this come from? And even against Liverpool, when they played Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and Arsenal fans are talking about, if we win this game, we're back in the title race. I didn't understand where the confidence going to Anfield was from, and they got beat 4-0. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, where did that come? And it's the same here. Are we in the best of form? No. But you touched on it. They would kill for our squad and our bench. In terms of 11s, to me, it's not even close, especially going forward. And that is what is going to win this game. Do they have the better midfield? Yeah, you could argue with Partey and Lukonga. Defensively, you could argue them as well. Goalkeepers, all right, pretty nailed on, but it's at Old Trafford. The place is going to be rocking. The place is going to be rocking.
Old Trafford under the lights, man. It's going to be
Old Trafford under the lights. It's a Thursday. Arsenal ain't going to be used to playing on a Thursday under the lights because they're not in Europe. So that's going to be different for them as well. So I could see absolutely, and I want us to do what you said. Go for it. Dominate the football. You know what I'm saying? Attack is the best form of defense. Don't give Arsenal the ball. Don't give Arsenal the onus. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Don't give Arsenal the onus to attack us.
Yeah.
Go and attack them. You know what I'm saying? I want to see an attacking lineup. Go get 65-70% possession of the ball. Yes, they have Aubameyang up front who can score a goal. You know, he's pace on the break. You're saying Saka might be injured. Smith Rowe's been in decent form. Who else have they got? Lacazette. I'm trying to think of other attackers.
They haven't got that much goals in the team. I mean,
Yeah,
they're very reliant on certain individuals.
They don't scare me at all. Like defensively, Arteta's got them looking. He's got them looking better. I will admit that. Like he definitely has. But we've said it many a time. We are individual brilliance FC. We have the players to break down anybody. It's just going to be very interesting to see how Carrick sets up. I'd love to see if he goes with Donny, Matic, Fred, Bruno, which I'm thinking he might. I have no issue with that. But then the wings is the issue because I think Sancho plays. I think Ronaldo plays. The question is the left. Do you play? I would go with Martial, but I can see Rashford playing. Go on.
No, I just want to add on where the Arsenal fans' confidence come from. I personally think they're judging this game of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. Obviously, the way we've been under Ole, of course, you know, if Ole was in charge, I wouldn't be as confident. However, under Carrick, not to say he's a good manager or anything, but under Carrick, we played 2 games. Very solid performance against Villarreal. Obviously, it wasn't brilliant. And then Chelsea, very well-structured performance against them as well. So that's all you can really look at it from our perspective, because, of course, we have got a new person at the helm. In terms of Arsenal's perspective, I've watched their last 5 games, right, all the 90 minutes practically. So for me, again, Arsenal fans will say I'm being biased, but the way I see it is every time a team's attacked them or put them under any amount of pressure, they've practically crumbled. You know, even against a 10-man Watford, they've only literally prior to the last 15 minutes of the game, Arsenal were battering Watford. I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to win that game, but in the last 15 minutes of the game, a 10-man Watford put it on Arsenal, and they were holding on for dear life against 10-man Watford team that at that moment in time, and they're going to say, well, Watford battered you again. That's under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's a different code. Against Crystal Palace, last kick of the game, Lacazette equalises. But Palace absolutely annihilated that back line, as did Brighton. Just because you got results in those games doesn't mean there aren't frailties there. Doesn't mean there aren't places that we can look at as a tactical standpoint and say, well, this is how we can get at Arsenal. Of course, the Liverpool one speaks for itself, but that's a very obvious frailty. Against Newcastle as well, Arsenal battered them, dominated the game. But there's a couple of occasions Newcastle went forward and Arsenal defense was crumbling again. And people can laugh all they want and say, oh, you know, you're being salty. You know, look, for me personally, I analyze games in terms of when I'm playing opposition, I look at how we can hurt them. Tomiyasu and Tavares for me, young talent, very good going forward. Defensively, got absolutely ruined by Salah. No embarrassment with that. Tomiyasu, anytime anyone's attacked him, the guy just looks a bang average. Looks bang average. And for me personally, if we get at the fullbacks, I mean, I just don't see in the scenario where we don't score a couple of goals if we actually try to take risks, if we actually adventurous, we actually direct. If Rashford runs in behind Tomiyasu, I won't be surprised if Tomiyasu keeps bringing him down because he can't handle his pace. Like Tomiyasu might even give a penalty away, a ball over the top, in behind Tomiyasu, the guy brings him down, or Ben White brings him down. Bro, Rashford already sat Ben White down once. You don't need to do it again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Ben White again, Gabriel, to be fair to him, has been brilliant, so I can't knock him. But other 3 defenders, I think they're a bit overrated, which is so funny because Ramsey has been their best player, which they keep telling us about. So if your goalkeeper is your best player, that means there's something wrong with the players on the around him. Because when De Gea is our best player, my United fans will say, yeah, De Gea is our best player, but that's not what we wanted. That's not what we wanted here. So if you speak to any Arsenal fans, they keep raving about Ramsdale, and fair play to him. He's done some amazing work, but that's not a compliment. That's a negative. You don't want your keeper to be your best player. Your keeper shouldn't be in the line of fire every single game. So for me, if we're clinical and those chances fall to Ronaldo, it's game over. Simple as that. He ain't gonna miss 2, 3, 4. Like, he's gonna be clinical on the night, hopefully. So for me personally, yeah, I just think they get a bit ahead of themselves because they're looking at the results and they're not actually looking at the games, because a lot of the games, I mean, they've done really well, but there's a lot of
It's a bit like
glaring
our fan
mistakes.
base under the last manager, where
Absolutely.
they look at results and league positions and not look at actual performances. And yo, we got over 40 of you lot in it, and we not even got 30 likes. So let's get the likes up, mods. Please get everybody
People,
liking the video. I'm saying it's free. Hit the like button on the video,
Floyd,
people.
I
Let's
want
get
you
us
to
up
just
over
answer
40
this
likes.
question here because I can
Yeah,
see it.
feel free.
I'm assuming it's an Arsenal fan, which is fine. He
Feel
said
free.
Tomiyasu has been decent. What are you on about? Tomiyasu has been decent. What are you on about? Listen to me carefully, my guy. When someone attacks Tomiyasu with the real pace and power and presence, the likes of the Saint Maximans, the likes of the Zahas, some of the Brighton players, I don't remember the names. Obviously, Liverpool, they absolutely violate the entire defence again, which is normal. You guys seem to struggle defensively. If you can't see that, that's completely fine. If you can't see that Ramsdale's been saving you in all these multiple games, that is fine. Go back to the last 15 minutes against Watford, where you held on for dear life against 10 men. Your backline was getting violated. So for
Watford
me,
played well in that game as well. It's not like Arsenal dominated. Watford, I did a watch along for that. Watford did play well in that game.
yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
they did. They
And
did.
Arsenal were fully holding on. And this is not a criticism. Balma's do what you got to do. But what I'm saying is, you're going to find out if Rashford actually plays with confidence and runs at Tomiyasu. I can tell you right now, Tomiyasu is going to have an absolute nightmare of a game. If you pockets Rashford, then fair enough, come back at me. My Twitter is just man talks United. That's fine. But I just feel like Rashford's going to destroy him. Like, I genuinely believe it. I just feel like if the ball keeps getting played in behind,
Let's go.
We're going to be causing them problems. But obviously, time will tell, won't it?
Right, it will. And we will get to that as well. You lot get your questions in, but please keep them Manchester United related. It can be about the game, it can be about Ragnick, etc., etc. Again, who is the new, the latest member to the channel, says United have to win, players have to perform no matter what the system is. It's about pride. You can't lose 3 home games to Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. I fully hear that. I fully expect the players to turn up. I expect them. They've been freed off the leash, so I expect the players to turn up. Big up, big game tonight. Big up, Flawless. Big up to you, Marshall. Keenan says 9 shows on this channel and still going strong. We appreciate your work, Flawless. I've gained a band of brothers here. Love and respect to everyone. Big up to you first and foremost, Keenan. Large up to you. And that's from the tweet that I put out today, because last year it was like we was adding the 10th show, like on the 2nd of December 2020, and now it's more than that. I lost count. Yeah, I have no idea how many shows there is.
I was thinking, because obviously I've subscribed to you, of course, and your post notifications like, how many shows you got, Flawless? It's just, I literally scroll down, I was like, sometimes I think I've just clicked on your page, because it's just like,
love that.
But I was like, oh shit, you just got loads of shows, man.
Yeah, just loads of shows scheduled. Yeah, it's more than 9 now, Keenan. I am gonna this month I will count it up to see, because I know we was adding a 10th at that point last year, and now I know it's easily more than 10 now. But big up to you, Keenan. Always good to have you here. He says, also, Arsenal have scored less goals than Newcastle this season. I did not know that. Is that true? Let me check that. We need to get revenge, 3-0 win. I'm not saying you're lying, Keenan. Let me check that. How many goals have Arsenal scored? I know, Osman, you spoke on it about them not having a lot of goals.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've watched their last 5 games in depth, because obviously you want your so-called rivals to drop points, etc. So from the games I've watched, they haven't been very clinical in front of goal. Aubameyang in particular has been lackluster in front of goal of late. I know he's had a couple of moments where he's done okay, but in general, he's been firing blanks. Lacazette, again, another player that's not really done anything. Most of their goals have been like 1 or 2 goals from that Saka and Smith Rowe in particular that are really carrying them at the moment. I know Martinelli and Saka scored in the last game, but the goals are being shared out. It's just that there's no one really consistent. Not to say that we have got anyone consistent as well, but yeah, that is something that if we're resolute in defence, I think they are going to struggle, because a lot of their players haven't got much confidence in front of the goal.
And they don't score goals. He's not lying. They have scored 1 less goal than Newcastle. That has filled me with more confidence, because I knew that they weren't free flowing and creating a lot of chances in front of goal. They've only scored 15. Scored 15 goals.
It's an average of 1 a game then.
Pretty much. Like, they only Wolves and Spurs have scored less than them. No, Wolves, Brighton, and Spurs have scored less than them in the top half. And there too, obviously, we know Brighton, we know their failures. Spurs were under Nuno for a long period of time, and Wolves don't score a lot of goals either. So yeah, that's made me much more confident going into this game. Brass says we winning 2 trophies this season. I got 5 on it. United winning 2. I'm not saying all that.
Man, I ain't saying all trophies, that. Obviously, the one that has to be the Champions League.
Yeah, I ain't saying all that. I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying all that. City, Chelsea, and Liverpool destroyed Arsenal, so I expect United to do the same with the squad we have. I don't think we destroy, but I'm confident going into this game. I am confident. I'm confident going into this game, 110%. Where else we at? No need to be scared. AFTV's new video. All right, man.
Yeah,
You know what?
I've seen it.
Shout out AFTV, but that's all set up for them to When they get booked tonight, it's gonna be peak.
That's clever marketing still, because they know it's a win-win either way, isn't it? Really. Oh well, I say win. They're gonna get bantered, but it's a win-win in terms of marketing. Obviously, you get bricks buys. If they lose, obviously everyone to be bantering them with the video I've already got saved. And if they win, obviously they're just gonna play that and say, "Well, go on in it." Do you know what I mean? So.
Absolutely, because TMC, that's absolutely. Because one thing I do know is when United lose, and you'll know this on your channel, when something bad happens to United, the views and likes go up. I noticed that. TMC, it goes up. People expect you to come be wilding out. Big up Flawless says TMC. MN says big up to you both. We'll do our predicted lineup at the end. Who knows what we're gonna get? 50 here says, as an Arsenal fan, I think we can beat you, but we have our attacks. No worries. Big up the ManDem. Big up to you. He also says, y'all know we're winning, right? Nah, I don't think you are. I don't see Arsenal winning this game. I legit don't. On the Ollie, yes.
So many spaces with Dizzy, and listen, shout out to you firstly to get in the comments. But these Arsenal fans in the combined 11 only put 2 Man United players in there. Like literally 2 players. Ronaldo.
What was it on? Was it on form or was it ability?
I think it was the ones on ability. There was only like 4 Man United players in.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The ones on form, there's only 2 players. Like they literally put Ben White over Varane. Like genuinely.
Yeah. They just
that's how confident Arsenal fans are going into. So I'm gonna enjoy the humble pie, man. It's gonna be good, hopefully.
That's wild. And like if it's form, our manager just got sacked. So it's highly likely a lot of our players are going to be out of form. So it makes sense. I just subscribed to Big 6 Months. I did a combined 11 over there on form. I think we got 3 players in. That makes sense. But if we're doing ability, it's majority United players. Like, let's not do that. If it's De Gea, it's Varane. Who else I'm trying to think? We washed them in the front 3. The 10, pick one. So that's 6 players right there.
Yeah, Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo, Rashford.
Yeah, right. That's 6 right there, just off the top. Not even forgetting about the defense. Like we should have more in that team anyway. That's what I'd say. But I don't believe you're winning. Absolutely not. Jabari says, if Arsenal win, what does that do to United season to come? Especially seeing your fans and their confidence. So I'll let you answer that first, and then I'll answer afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, look. Of course, if Arsenal win tonight, as you mentioned earlier, they got 8 points, if I'm not mistaken. Look, that's a massive gap. I'm not going to sit here and deny that for a second. However, with Ragnick coming in, with the fixture list that we've got, I'll still be confident that we can claw that back against like Arsenal and West Ham. And I know people will say that's deluded or our season's over, etc. I mean, to an extent, it is over because we didn't want to be in the top 4 race, but we can still claw 8 points back on them. I'm still confident we can do that with Ragnick. In my head, it will still be 5 points because I'd be thinking, well, when we play Arsenal the next time under Ragnick, we will beat them. So, yeah, we can, without a shadow of a doubt, claw it back. The league's over in the sense that we ain't going to win the title. We know that anyway. So, yeah, we'll get to... I'm confident we're going to get top 4 under Ragnick.
Absolutely. All right, to answer this question about, seasons to come, is it a big... Would it be a big blow? Yes, but can we recover it? Yes, our manager's not in place. It'd be a bigger blow if Ragnick was in charge and we lost to Arsenal rather than Carrick. So, yes, the points, because I'm having a look here. Because I'm looking at Arsenal on 23 points. United are currently on 18 points. So if Arsenal win here, they go 8 points clear of us. There's only 14 games to go. It's not an unclimbable mountain. Like, you can claw back 8 points, and we're not this is Arsenal. We're not chasing down Chelsea or Manchester City. If it's Chelsea or Manchester City, 8 points clear of you, that can seem like 16. Because it's Arsenal, it could be 4. That's how I look at it. So it's not these are 2 sides, Manchester United and Arsenal, that are United at best are a top 4 side. Arsenal, to me, at best, are a top 6 side. So that's why I wouldn't worry. Obviously, I'd be more annoyed the bragging rights and about the game itself. But I'd look at the performance and see how it went. But what's it called? I have no qualms of catching Arsenal. We'll finish above, regardless of the result today. We finish above Arsenal, regardless of Arsenal could win 4-0 tonight, and I'd still come on here and say United are finishing above them. Like, it's only 8 points, and it's only 14 games gone, so we're more than capable. Where else we are? Gabriel gets in next to Varane. Yeah, that's cool with that. We're extending our run against y'all to 4 years, mate. Cool. All right, we'll see. Jabari says, where is this game won and lost for me? It's in defense. Who is even more solid and hungry for the win? The win wins it, in my opinion. To me, It's whoever decides to try and dictate, whoever executes the game. What now, it depends on the game plans and who executes theirs better. What's the game plan? I think if Manchester United say we're gonna play on the front foot and attack Arsenal, we win the game. If United do that, I don't think there's anything Arsenal can do. But Arsenal might decide to try and monopolize the ball. I think it's whoever monopolizes the ball. Whoever has more of the ball will win this game. That's what I'd say. What are you telling me?
I'd probably echo that sentiment. As I said earlier, if we set up to potentially press them high up the pitch and control the game, we win this comfortably. Honestly, I genuinely believe that. Our players on paper are far superior than ours. Okay, granted, their form may be better, but form is temporary, class is permanent for a reason, lads. So, Van der Beek, Bruno, Fred, midfield three, we just complete dominant. Sancho on the right wing, Martial or Rashford on the left wing, Ronaldo up top. Ronaldo gets any bit of service. Bro, if I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, all he's got to do is put himself on Ben White. That guy is not even coming next to Ronaldo in the air. That's what Ronaldo's got to do this game. If I was in the dressing room, now I was doing the tactics. Ronaldo, ignore Gabriel. Fair play to him. He's quite good in the air. Let's not worry about him. Just go and keep pinning yourself on Ben White. The guy's not going to be able to hold you off. The guy's not going to beat you in the air. The guy's got no ability remotely close to you to lace your boots, let alone even flip and try pocket you. So, listen, it's as simple as that. Their defense ain't as good as they think it is. So, for me personally, take the game to Arsenal and we just blow them away, man. Like every team that's attacked him with any real intent and purpose have destroyed them. And Arsenal's biggest sort of ingrained DNA is the love of capitulation. So 1-2 goals, Man United fans up, it's game over. It could be 4, man. You guys might have to turn the TV off. So yeah, for me personally, we've got to set the precedent from the first minute. Get in the faces. Do not let them settle. Hostility in the crowd. Pressing up under pressure, man. Do not let them settle. The first 15 minutes of the game, we need to be aiming to score. In our heads, our mentality should be, first 15 minutes of this game, we score, we win. That's what the mentality should be. If you don't score in that 15 minutes, we're in a game, because obviously they're going to have to weather a storm. They know they're going to be in for it. Somewhat of a manager bounce, again, away from home, etc. So we need to be on their neck from the first second of the game. So that's what the game will be won and lost in the first 15 minutes for me personally.
You know what? I 100% agree. I want to see that 100 miles per hour. That's what it is.
So
I can see. Yeah, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm easy to find, but I'm gonna respond to that because I've been here during Ollie's entire reign and that. Man, don't run, hide, or duck, no smoke in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't duck like Arsenal duck major trophies, but here we are. MN says I can see Ronaldo getting 2 if you don't allow them to play out and pressure them up high like Liverpool. You can force mistakes. I could see a 3-0 or 3-1. Definitely. Everything that's been said about set the tempo early, and that's what I said about game plan. Only should be on the front foot. Don't worry about defense because we've just spoke on it. Their attack isn't the best. They've scored less goals than Newcastle. A Newcastle United side that haven't won a game all season, and we're 14 games into the season. So we need to put the onus on them, because then if we do score the first goal, to win the game, they then have to score twice and then not scoring goals. That adds more pressure. That adds to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you're free flowing and the team goes a goal up, it's like, all right, we can get 2 back. We've been scoring goals. Like Liverpool have been scoring goals all season. Arsenal are not a free flowing attacking side, creating loads of chances and scoring loads of goals. So this is why we need, and they could capitulate.
They haven't got Saka as well, which
no Saka as well.
Is a huge miss again. Like no disrespect to Martinelli whatsoever. I think he's a talent, but Saka is just he's the guy, man. He's the one that's pulling all the strings. He's the one that everything goes through. I know Smith Rowe's done really well, and he's a talent as well. But I think Saka's probably a bit more important than Arsenal fans give him credit for. So yeah, look, that is a massive boost for us. And we have, like you said, man, there's nothing to worry about. They've got nothing going forward at the moment that should scare us. Smith Rowe's their major threat, and he's a young lad. Like it's a big game for him as well. He's not had many of these moments. In his career at the moment, he hasn't even got the experience really, so we can easily mark him out of the game. And where are they going to score from? I generally don't, unless it's a worldie from Partey. I don't know where the goal's going to come from.
And Jabari onto this says, hope you man don't hide if you lose after all this big talk. Man's here. You can find me right here on Sarcasm City TV. You can find me. I'll be here. You'll find me right here on ManDem United Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. and every other day of the week on the YouTube and the Twitch. I'm here all the time. Abdallah says, big up my done flawless in the court. Big up to you. Did I hear Did I hear a Man U fan
I'll just
talking
sit
about
back on
major
there and crack
trophies?
it up.
Yeah, you heard me talking about it. Hey, all I want to say to you, realist, is put your Champions League winners' medals on the table. That's what I say to you. Nippon says, people smash the like button the same way Arsenal will get
Yes,
smashed at
yes. Come
United.
on,
Hit the like
people.
button. Hit the like button on the
Love
video.
that.
Thoughts on Ramsdale being made to look better than he actually is? Osman, since you said you've been watching him much more than I have,
Yeah.
your thoughts on Ramsdale?
I mean, the Ramsdale thing, a fair play to him. He's a young goalkeeper. He didn't really do well at Sheffield United. However, he's made the step up and he's somewhat at the moment. He's been impressive. However, what I will say is there's a goalkeeper called Leno that a lot of Arsenal fans were gassing not so long ago. I mean, Leno had a decent period as well, and Arsenal fans were saying he's the best in the league. Some were saying he's the best German goalkeeper, etc., etc. So for me, it's been what? He's played 12 games, give or take. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. He got away with a mistake. I can't remember if it was against Newcastle or something when he tried to come off the ball. Might have been against West Ham. So he has made a couple of mistakes here and there, but overall he's been fairly good. But I just think the overhype the play is too early, man. Like, just it's 12 games. Relax, man. If he makes a mistake tonight, these men are going to be on his neck. So just chill out. Give him a couple of good seasons back to back, and then try and say he's better than De Gea because he just embarrassed himself at the moment.
There you go. Said it all. Abdallah says, flawless Arsenal dog shit, bro. You're gonna serve them up with curry goat, jerk chicken, rice and peas, bro. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal are a good side. I don't get the gas at all. Like, I don't understand. I understand Arsenal fans being confident coming to OT, but Osman spoke on it. It's like they're coming to OT and they're talking like Ollie's still in charge. If Ollie's still in charge, I'm not confident in this game. This podcast is completely different. I'm saying the best we can get is a draw. Whereas now I'm like optimistic about the win, and I'm saying the last result I'm expecting in this game is a win for Arsenal. We are going to turn up. It's about time we have to play. The players are back. Like I've been posting, like, word to string a bell in it. Put the word out there. We back up. And we fully have been. And I said this at Chelsea, against Chelsea. People are like, what do you mean you're going to get a result at Chelsea? The performance wasn't good. We got a result. Won away in the Champions League, which is something we haven't done in a long time. Maybe since. Might have been PSG. Well, basically, we don't do well
in Spain in general as well. So
and we don't have a good record in Spain in general, even under Fergie. So we've kind of got two results.
So that was a massive result for us, that one.
So that's how I'm looking at it. Z Gold says, big up flawless on Osman. I see this being a slapping for Arsenal. Would be surprised if they don't get at least 4-5. Could be 5 if we fire tonight. Don't think Arsenal have a chance to win.
If it's a slapping from us to them, yo, those Arsenal fans, get back in your caves and where you belong, man. Honest to God, they're gonna be hiding ASAP. Listen, it's gonna be beautiful if it is a slapping on our part, but we'll have to wait and see.
Jeez, don't say that, Z, but don't gas me about 4 or 5. Maybe think Fergie's back. You know what I'm saying? And I might say, yo, tell Carrick, get me. Let him sign, put the contract on the table. Let him sign wherever he wants. If he does that, I will say that. If we win 4 or 5-0, yeah, I'm fully doing it. I'm fully doing it. I will get a piece of paper. I'll do it. I'll go get the piece of paper. If Carrick, I do it. If we win 4, I guarantee you, lot. I promise you, lot. If Manchester United win 4 or 5-0 tonight, 100%, I will do that on the next ManDem United. 100%. Because we're not winning 4 or 5. Don't gas me.
Yeah.
Don't gas me. Don't gas me. Abdallah also says the new order of the biggest clubs: 1 Manchester United, 2 Liverpool, 3 Chelsea, 4 Arsenal. Yeah, London is blue at the end of the day. Arsenal fans don't like it. But yeah, but Chelsea are just, Arsenal fans just don't like it. Big up to Bobby every time he's out there doing his thing in Scotland and that up there, I should say. Arsenal and United fans are 2 of the most annoying sets of fan bases in the Premier. Absolutely we are, because we've both seen the most success. That's what it is. Like with Arsenal, City ain't really got no fans, and you know who's third in that list? Abdallah, Chelsea, because you lot have had success. That's what it is. Like, everybody likes the team who are not winning. Nobody likes the winners bragging about winning. You know how often I've heard about Chelsea being champions of Europe since it happened? Like every day, whether it's Lewis, whether it's Peter, whoever. There's a lot of Chelsea fans on the channel. Even my guy Kevin Fraser, who super chats nothing but $1.99 super chat saying champions of Europe. We'd be on a basketball stream and this guy will super chat champions of Europe. Nothing to do with anything. This is what I'm talking about. I hear it all the time.
So much of that, man. I had to time.
Yeah.
Piss off.
That's all he said. He don't say nothing else. He just puts champions of Europe and then he might say big up afterwards and that's it. That's all man says. But yeah, man, large up to everyone. Well, there was a lot of gas before the Liverpool game too. Who from United fans? Oh yeah, Arsenal fans. Yeah, I don't get it. Don't understand it. I don't
They're
understand where
overhyping
that came
players, man.
from.
That's where it is, though, man. Like
You
we
reckon it
said
is
with
so?
the Ramsdale thing, they're doing the same thing with Tomiyasu, man. They did the same thing with Chamberlain, Walcott, flipping Bellerin. There's a whole list of players. If you go back into the archives after the first 3-4 months of them bursting to scene, I remember. In fact, what's his name? Ceballos. I heard
Yeah,
Arsenal fans say
Ceballos.
he's replacing Cazorla after like 2 good games. I mean, they do it with everyone. They never learn. This is the thing. They never learn, and they're overhyping the players. Not to say Man United fans haven't done this with our players. We have. But they are overhyping Tomiyasu like he's Carfu, man. Just chillax. When Rashford violates it tonight, just know I said it first. He's going to get his pants pulled down tonight. I can't wait. I can't wait for the massacre that Rashford is going to deliver tonight. It's going to be beautiful.
I hope you're right, man. I'm hoping for that 4 or 5-0, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm gassed now. Zeke gassed me with that. If Arsenal do somehow manage to win, I can just imagine Arsenal fans. They're going to win the league. Arteta is the best. We're going to win the Champions League next year. Joke fan base. Absolutely. It's exactly what Arsenal fans will say if they beat us. Bear in mind, they'll then turn around and say, yeah, we're 10th. So because you beat the 10th place, you beat the team in 10th in the league, you're going to win the Premier League this season. Arteta's the best, and the Champions League next season. Bear in mind, it's an interim manager at the helm in Carrick, who is not a manager. You don't even have the full coaching badges, but they'll tell you that. They will, of course. Shameless. They're beyond shameless.
That's on the flip side, though, we win, we are winning the Champions League.
Yo, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, we are. But the difference is we have the players to do it, one, the manager coming in two, and we're Manchester United Football Club. And we're in the competition. That man ain't heard. Aubameyang, since he's been there, ain't heard Champions League. Legit. He's not been in the Champions League. Last time he was in the
Champions League goals in the bloody club.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? The last time Aubameyang was playing in the Champions League, he was playing against his manager, who's right now. He was at Dortmund, and Arteta was playing for Arsenal. That's the last time. That's the last time. That's the last time. Yeah. There's pictures of it. That's the last time.
Up. That's amazing. Yo, we have to beat these bums, man. We can't be allowed with that team. Yo, these guys are dead. Why are we even below? It was embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Slap them up. Let's overtake them, man. None of this waffle.
Arsenal are the low bar. Like once you fall below them, it's a wrap. All he fell below them. Yeah, it was like, all right, enough's enough. Man. Lampard was a level of points with him last season. Enough's enough. They are the bar. Dean Smith was below them. Aston Villa was like, right, enough's enough and that. Like Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers, the only one. He's walking a tightrope in it. As soon as you fall below Arsenal, it's kind of like, all right, this is kind of peak. They are the new low bar. What are you guys most scared of from this game? Arsenal getting too much room to play their game, or United not attacking, or what? I've spoken this. I'll let Usman answer this, and I'll answer again. But yeah, go on, Usman.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's us not being brave on the ball. I think that is going to be the thing that really sort of frustrates me watching the game, because I know with their frailties at the back, if we actually impose ourselves on them as we should do as the home team, we will definitely have success in this game. So the thing that scares me the most is if Carrick approaches the game similar to how he did against Chelsea and allows them to settle into the game, invites pressure on, and gives them the ownership and the confidence really to dictate the game. We don't want Arsenal to feel like they've got a foothold in the game. So that's the thing that scares me, the way he approaches the game. If it was Ragnick in charge, I wouldn't be sat here scared. I'd be confident of slapping him, because I know we would be on the front foot. So if we're not on the front foot, I'm definitely going to be worried.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of, we did speak on this as well, but yeah, they're both one in the same pretty much, Jabari. Like, United not attacking is the thing that scares me the most. I believe we have the better 11 and the better team. So therefore, if we play at our highest level and impose ourselves, Manchester United win this game. If we don't attack and give the onus to Arsenal, then maybe it's much more likely to be a draw. I don't know how Arsenal are going to set up either. I don't know. Does Arteta try and come and dominate the ball and press high and say, you know what, we're going to dominate. We're going to treat this like it's at the Emirates? Or does he sit back on the counter attack?
Surely sit back.
Maybe it depends. Maybe. I don't know.
I hope they do sit back, to be fair. I think it'd be
I hope so too. I hope they sit back and give us the ball. Because if they do that, I'm much more confident about getting a win from this game if they do that. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping they treat it like they did Anfield. But obviously we're not as good as Liverpool. So maybe he does try and dominate. They do have Partey and Lokonga in there. Depending on our formation and our system. If Donny plays, though, I'll be much more confident.
Absolutely.
Prince says, big talk. Shalom says, Sancho scoring today, easy 2-0. He's going to make it 3-3, yeah? And 2-2 in the Premier League. Is that what he's doing? And is Jorginho playing for Arsenal? All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
Great assist, man. You know what I'm saying? We need him in our team.
He
We just
deserved
don't
that
put
Ballon
people
d'Or. To
outside
be
that.
fair, they got
He
robbed off
did,
the
man.
good performance,
Robbed
goal
of the
and
Ballon
assist.
d'Or.
Yeah,
Goal and
underrated,
assist in the
underrated.
same. Underrated, man. In a pretty
Yeah,
good game.
Sancho as well, by the way. Like against Tavares, I haven't really mentioned it much.
Talk about it.
Tavares, great going forward, very good going forward. But defensively, again, he's a liability, man. And he's very young, isn't he? He's very raw. I want to see Sancho causing any problems, running at him and trying to commit him as well, because the guys, again, it's a hostile atmosphere. Hopefully, a new experience for him, man. So it's going to be his first proper big away game. Obviously, they played against Liverpool, they got hammered, but it's going to be his second real big occasion, and he failed massively under the first one against Salah. So we've got to put pressure on people like that from the start, man, because they're not used to this environment. So we need to be
early
on their
goal.
neck, man.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Early goal, like 5, 10, 50 minutes max. Early goal. Early
Bro,
goal.
we score
like,
one early, bro. It could be 2-0 in 25 minutes. That's the kind of team Arsenal are, man. They got no mentality. They got no
so you don't think Arteta has changed that slightly? You still think
Absolutely
that the weakness is there?
Nah, man, that weakness is ingrained in their DNA. It's going to take a while to. And listen, I just feel like who have they got on that pitch that's a leader that's going to, let's say they got 1-0 down, let's say we're 1-0 up, yeah. If Ronaldo scores, it's going to be peak for them because that stadium's going to be fully erupting.
Yeah, but they got Gabriel, they got Partey, they got 2 players there. Partey's been in Champions League, deep in the Champions League.
Look,
You've got
I'm a fan
Gabriel.
of Partey. I'm a fan of Partey and I'm a fan of Gabriel, but they're not, for me, they're not the kind of players that you look to in that Arsenal current setup. They're going to drag them when they're 1-0 down and say, come on, boys, let's go again. If anything, most of their players' heads are going to drop. Ben White is from Brighton. Like, the guy can do shit. Like, I just feel like Lokonga, young lad. They've got a very young team. Lokonga, young. Martinelli, young. Smith Rowe, young. Tavares, young. Like, they've got a very young team. If we're on them early and the crowd's up on their feet, it could be a long night for them. But it just depends how we set up, really.
It could be. This here says Wan-Bissaka ducking the Smith Rowe and Tavares test. Why is Wan-Bissaka not playing?
Yeah, apparently Wan-Bissaka is injured.
Did he get injured? Was this in training?
Yeah, apparently he's done something to his hand. This is what I heard earlier, but again, I'm not a credible sources, so to speak. So, I mean, that would be interesting.
Injuries left, right, and center. I didn't know about these things there. Injuries left, right, and center, like Saka. Now Wan-Bissaka. Go on.
Okay, so it's confirmed then. Okay, so Delo coming in is a bit of an advantage also because Tavares going forward is very good, to be fair to him. From what I've seen of him so far, he's going to cause Delo problems. But again, we got to focus on what we can do to them. So
going forward, because Dalot, I like going. If Dalot plays, exactly. I'm a fan of Dalot, so I've been wanting to see what he does. This is his chance to step up now.
I mean, hopefully
this is his chance to step up.
From his side, the delivery hopefully is on Ronaldo's end, and Ronaldo's on Ben White. So it's more likely Ronaldo's going to be further.
We could have Dalot and Telles both playing.
Yeah, Telles.
We gotta move to these, man. We gotta move to these, man. Now
we
gotta move to these, man. Properly. We gotta move to these, man. 100%, 100%. And I don't know why Wan-Bissaka would be ducking an attack that scored less than Newcastle. Like I'm sure he's fine.
He's past the Mbappe Neymar test. I think he'll manage.
I'm sure he's fine in it. If you can't score more goals than a team, then what's it called? A team who's Joe Lenton, who's been in the attack, and Matt Ritchie. I'm sure he'll be alright. Sure he's okay. I hope to see Dalot linking with Sancho. They'll send Tavares back. That's excited me now. If Dalot's playing, you got Dalot Tellers. That's actually 2 attacking threats. We have to go for this. Go for this. There's no point sitting back with Tellers and Dalot. It'll probably be Maguire and Lindelof, Matic, Bruno. Actually, I don't know. How does he go?
But that's what worries me, right? Let me give you a scenario. So Dalot is someone that's very good going forward, but his recovery pace is not as good as Wan-Bissaka. So in that scenario, your midfielders, whoever's playing in the double pivot, and your centre backs need to have good pace because they're going to be covering a lot of ground. They need to get across, etc. Maguire is going to, and Lindelof. Oh God, bro! If you got Dalot on the pitch, Baye's got to play basically.
Yes,
because Baye has to cover Dalot. Yeah. Because otherwise, it means Lindelof's going to be in a one-on-one scenario on many occasions, and I don't want to see that. Maguire's going to be in a foot race because he's got Tellers next to him. I mean, these little slight details matter, and obviously, if you play Matic, if you can't play Matic and Maguire in this game, it's going to be a travesty for me.
How does he set up now if that is the case? Because obviously, there's talks. You mentioned it there about the double pivot. That's a 4-2-3-1. Does he go with the 4-1-3-2/4-4-2 diamond, which has been the preferred formation, because if he
Yeah.
does that, you got Matic. You're obviously up at your options. You got Matic, you got Donny, you got Fred, you got McTominay. So there you four. Bruno will probably play in the 10. Ronaldo will play also. But does he go split? It might be best to go back to 4-2-3-1 for this. As much as I don't like that formation, it might be best to go to that and play Bailly. But then who do you play? You have to play Fred.
Matic is out
as well. What's going on? What is happening?
So Matic, Wan-Bissaka is out. Who was the other one? I can't remember now.
Saka. They're saying Saka as well. Matic is also. I didn't know Matic was out also.
No, I did hear this earlier, but it's completely escaped my memory. But then again, I didn't have any confirmation on it. So yeah, so realistically, he's going to play McFred. But for me, I'd go Fred, 4-2-3-1, Fred, Donny, the double pivot. Get Donny to play how we did against Watford, and Bruno in front of him. Simple as, man. I don't even think it's overcomplicated.
Bruno, I like that. Bruno in front, Sancho one side.
Yeah,
probably
Sancho
go
one,
Rashford.
Ronaldo.
I prefer Martial, Ronaldo. Yeah, Bailly's got to play though. I think that's vital.
Bailly has to play, but he won't. That's where my concern. When I see the lineup and I see McFred and no Bailly, that's gonna really trigger me. And I think, oh, here we go, man. Here we go.
You're right. No. You are right about that. You lot in the comments, give us your predictions, score predictions. Let us know what you are saying. We're not leaving quite yet, and we're 1 like away from 50. Make sure you subscribe.
Yes.
To Osman's channel as well. Subscribe to his channel. The link is in the title. You can click on it right now if you're watching this live or watching this back. And this page will stay open. But then Osman Talks United, the other tab will open, and you just click subscribe over there, people. So what is we ain't closing out just yet, but Osman, so what's your score line prediction?
What lineup or the score prediction? Sorry.
Yeah, actually both lineup and the scoreline prediction. Yeah. Give us both from goalkeeper and then obviously all the way to striker.
De Gea, Delo. This is what I would do personally. But De Gea, Delo, Bailly, and Lindelof. I think I'd keep him because why would you change him? He's obviously going to take Bailly and put Maguire in. Teller's left back. Obviously, I've mentioned the front midfield three: Fred, Bruno, and Van der Beek. So Van der Beek and Fred in the double pivot. Obviously, get Van der Beek to play a similar role to what he did against Watford. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal that game. The fact that he's not played in that position again after that performance for me is just completely baffling. Right wing, Sancho 2-2, 3-3 tonight. Ronaldo up top, and then the left for me is the one that I would be and on because I can see why people put Martial in, but only for the reason that what I mentioned with Rashford destroying Tomiyasu and stretching the play, etc. I'm going to put Rashford into for this game in particular. To be honest, with the front three, I don't really care who's playing because I'm happy with anyone that he selects, realistically speaking, because we just got so much talent in that department. So, yeah, that's the lineup I would go for. And the score prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 only because Maguire's playing. That is a genuine reason. If Maguire wasn't playing, I was going to say 3-1. But because Maguire's playing, it does somewhat. I mean, Maguire and McFred are going to play whether we like it or not. So that does really concern me because they're shit, basically, as a unit. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Man United. As long as we get the 3 points today, I don't really care. I know we've talked a big game. I still think we'll win. But it's just going to be a bit more squeaky bum time, I reckon.
I heard that. Again, the Hay and goal makes sense. Dalot and Tellers will play fullbacks. I agree it should be Bailly and Lindelof, but I'll bring in Maguire for Bailly. It probably will be McFred, even though I think it should be Fred and Donny in the pivot. Bruno in the 10 will play. Ronaldo will play. It will be Sancho. And I'll probably go Rashford, even though I prefer to see Martial, because Rashford just wasn't at it against
him and Bruno both, to be fair. Should be dropped, realistically.
It should be dropped, but we know that he's not going to do that. But if he does play the 4-1-3, like the 4-4-2 diamond, what do you think it will be? Because I reckon Sancho will play, Ronaldo will play, Bruno will play in that 10. Then does he go McTominay at the base?
If he goes
Johnny
to
at
diamond,
the right, Fred at the left.
Yeah. Then if he goes to diamond, then obviously McFred have to play because that's. But then again, he wouldn't do that because that's our entire team gone, if I'm not mistaken. That's all of our midfield options available.
Yeah, they are, because McTominay would be on the pitch. Fred would be on, Bruno would be on, Donny would be on.
This is the thing, though. If Van der Beek's, I've got a feeling, Flawless. I've got a feeling he's going to drop Bruno and play Donny at 10. That's what I think he's going to do. I've got a feeling he's going to do that. I mean, Bruno doesn't really deserve to be playing this game.
Absolutely
against Chelsea.
Absolutely.
But there isn't a real other option. The only option would be McFred and then Van der Beek. But I'd rather Bruno played over Scott McTominay, obviously. So he has to play. But the Rashford thing, you are right. I do think Rashford was shocking as well. But he grew into the game and they got substituted off. So it's a bit from heat one. But yeah,
If he
like,
plays, it wouldn't be big mad because from my recollection, he seems to play all right against Arsenal, if I remember
you know,
correctly.
he has good games against us. I mean,
Yeah.
he's also good off the bench as well. To be fair, every
Huh?
time he's been subbed on, he tends to impact the game. So if he's on the bench, Marcel starts. I'm not going to be mad about it. Like I said, I trust the players. It's just whether we actually have the right approach, which is obviously get onto them early doors, really.
We'll soon find out. Undertaker says it'll be a 1-1 draw. Jabari saying 1-0 Arsenal. Shalom saying 2-0 Manchester United, I'm guessing. Prince is saying 5-0. Hey, if it's 5-0, I told you, man, I'm doing the get the contract out, let him sign what he wants. Like if we win 4 or 5-0, yes.
Maybe
I'm
he's referring to the likes, 50 likes, maybe.
Oh yeah, or maybe it's 50 likes.
We'll
I'm
say
hoping it's
5-0 as
5-0.
well. We'll take it.
But we'll say 5-0 because we pack Arsenal 5-0, that'd be glorious because they will shut up.
They're gonna have to go into hiding.
They will shut up for the rest of the season until we play them again in the reverse fixture.
Absolutely.
Marshall saying 2-2. I reckon 2-0. I'm confident. I am confident. Even though our defense isn't the best, it's just their lack of goals. I can see them just not folding, but I can see us getting not comfortable, but having what's the word I'm looking for? Having a degree of control in the game.
I hope so, man.
It was never 100%. I can see that happening. I just don't rate Arsenal. Yes, their midfield's good. Defensively, they've been better as well. But the Bruno one's interesting. He should be dropped. And we have seen already that Carrick will drop players. He dropped Bruno initially. He dropped Ronaldo in the second.
Yeah,
so if he does drop Donny, I like the thought of that. And McFred pivot is much better with Bruno in front of it.
Yeah,
with Donny in front of it, actually. Yeah, McFred pivot is much better with Donny in front of it, yeah. Because Donny will retain possession at least better than Bruno.
I just don't think the ball gets to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we did that. Who was it against? Was it against Villarreal? I feel like it was against Villarreal first 55, 60 minutes. Donny and Marcia were on the pitch. And Donny played in front of McFred. Donny was invisible in that game.
He just didn't get the ball.
Yeah, literally, they couldn't get the ball to him. So I just think he needs to go back to that Watford, man. Not us losing 4-1, but Donny playing deeper in that second half and just pulling the strings, man. The guy was like Tony Cruz to an extent. The way he played, he was like completely he was unplayable. And he got his goal. Should have got 2 assists. Played Ronaldo through twice, 1-on-1. Mate, I just don't understand that. You can't get a better midfield performance and he's not been played there again. That's what stuff like that is the reason I'm a bit cautious because I just don't trust the coaching staff. That's the honest truth.
I can't hear that. Cams here says easy 1-1 win for Arsenal, Cams. Yeah, I think you need to rewrite that, fam. Yeah, joker. Prediction for the Spurs Brentford game.
Spurs Brentford.
Probably a draw.
Is that today?
Yeah, that is today. Yeah, that's today. Obviously, it's a side note because
what an absolutely irrelevant game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say. Oh, it's interesting. Brentford are doing really well, aren't they, attacking wise?
They are doing well, but they haven't. I think they've not won in their last 5. I believe in that. Their form is dipped. Their form is dipped. Yeah, they've won one in there. They won their last game. Sorry, but that's 1 win out of their last 5.
I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs. I think they're just going to edge it. I'm thinking 1-1, but I think Spurs might just nick it. It could be tight, though.
Well, yeah, maybe draw. Yeah, because Spurs ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. Like, they haven't been. Even the manager came out and said, "Yo, the level of this team."
What the hell, man? That is his biggest mistake of his career. That one.
He's just letting it know. He's probably just like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. That's what he's thinking. He's like, I can't believe this. Like, I knew it was bad. Well, I didn't know it was this bad. It's all mad. It's all mad. Keenan says, flawless. Who was the one player in the last 15 years that you've always wanted at United? For me, it was Kaka.
Oh, baller.
Depends. Pick ones because there's ones that we've missed. Like when we was linked with Schneider, I wanted Schneider so bad.
That was the first person that came to my mind as well.
Schneider, man, because we were linked with Schneider for like 2-3, and we needed a 10, and we was linked with him. I thought it was happening, and it never did. So Schneider is the one that sticks out.
Oh, I know what mine is.
Go on,
15 years. So where does that put us? 2000? Is that 2008? Oh, 2008. That's a bit too much.
I know my mouse is terrible. Go on. Who was it?
Yeah, no, Schneider was the first person that came to mind ahead as well, but I'm gonna say Iron Robin just for the sake of it, because I just
we was linked with
Robin. Play. He was again. I mean, alongside everyone on the planet. I was gonna say Ronaldinho, but I'm just trying to think. Well, how old was he in 2008?
No, Ronaldinho was before that because we signed Ronaldo instead. That's why I'm not too hurt about the Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Because we signed Ronaldo instead, and that worked out kind of all right for us. So
So I'm gonna say Robin. I'm just gonna say Robin because I just love the guy. What an absolute baller. So yeah, I'm gonna go Iron Robin.
Yeah. To G Millions who says, can you watch this on Now TV? Are you talking about Sarcasm City TV or are you talking about the game? If you're talking about Sarcasm City TV, no, we're just on the YouTube and Twitch. But if you're talking about the game, it's on Sky Sports,
It's on
depending on
Prime,
where
isn't
you
it?
are. It's
It's on
on, oh,
Prime.
yes, Amazon Prime. Yes, Amazon Prime. I don't know where you are in the world, but if you are in the UK, Amazon Prime is you. Robin would have worked well. We all know what would happen on the right hand side. Robin would have, but yeah,
Too good,
Schneider's the
man.
one that
Too good.
sticks out. It works
Listen
out.
to both Dutch, man. Bring them both, man.
Bring them both over. And I try and forget about negatives and that in it. Like the Schneider one just sticks out, but it's players who I've wanted and they've not landed at Old Trafford, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake, them ones. But here we are in it. The amount of DMs we've been linked with at times, and we haven't signed one. I'm just
To be
like,
fair,
yo,
you know what? Actually,
such.
another one would have been Kante, man. Bloody hell.
But
Missed
we
out.
linked with Kante. I missed the links with Kante.
I mean, we went for someone else instead. I can't remember who it was. I feel like it was like Schneider or something stupid like that. Like we could have went for Kante if we spent like that money on like someone like Schneider. I think we spent Kante's money on Schneider or something.
Yeah, that's kind of peak still. That
was an L as well, man. So yeah, I think maybe Kante would have probably got us a couple of details, to be fair to him.
Yeah, definitely would have been. Definitely. Whoo, that would have been fire. But we are going to close out this ManDem United podcast. People, please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, whether you're watching this live or watching this back. And if you are listening on one of the audio platforms, big up. Don't forget, all the shows on Sarcasm City TV, aside from the watch-alongs, are available on audio-only platforms. So SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV, and all the shows will pop up. So you might want to listen while you're at work, while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, or you might just not want the YouTube or Twitch apps open, people. So yeah, big up. Hey, Undertaker, get his name correct in it, double R, and that his first game is going to be Palace on Sunday. But Osman, anything, great having you on here as always. Anything you want to add before we leave the stream?
Yeah, no, first I just want to say a massive thank you to Flawless. Obviously, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the Homies channel, obviously, and drop a like on the video. It's completely free to support the man. This guy literally supports everyone. He deserves all the success, man. Just please keep showing this guy some love, man. He's an absolute real one, so I appreciate you. Firstly, secondly, for my content, if you want to follow me, obviously feel free. You can see on the screen, Osman Talks United, basically.
The link's in the title, people. There's links in it. I'll let you explain what it is. The link is in the title, so click on it. Go on.
Yeah, so click the link in the title. Obviously, any content regarding Manchester United, podcast, watch along, match reactions. Also, we do have content with rival fans every Monday, which is going to be an absolute banger this week because we've got Arsenal fans and they're going to lose tonight, so it should be a good one. So, listen, if you wanna tune in for the fireworks on Monday or just general Man United content, check me out, Usman Talks United on Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, man. But big up to Undertaker there, man. Appreciate it. Large up for the kind words, Osman as well. And we'll be back on the channel, people. We'll probably start 8 p.m., 15 minutes before kickoff for the United versus Arsenal watch along. It's on the upcoming live stream schedule, but big up to everyone who has locked in. And this has been the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.